Max, Week 15, Game of the Week, and we've got another excellent matchup out of the AFC. The Ravens can clinch the AFC North with a victory here tonight at home, but the Steelers are looking to retake the lead via tiebreaker if they can come out of Charm City with the dub. Just 2 games left after this one, so stick around after the highlight and we'll take a look at the playoff picture. But for now, here we go. First play from scrimmage, the Steelers have the ball at the 25, and Najee Harris does what we like to call setting the tone. Big 51-yard blast to the right side of the field. The athleticism of this kid is just off the charts, and it was in full display today. 21.1 miles per hour on that one, and he's not even warmed up yet. Steelers get in the Baltimore territory right off the bat. A few plays later, it's 3rd and 4, and they're in the red zone now. Quarterback Chris Smoot drops back to throw. Looking right, he sees Raheem Flash, but he doesn't see Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen sees him, though, and he sees nothing but green grass and glory ahead of him on the return. Smoot uses that good speed and makes an attempt to take him down, but it was no use. Queen picks up right where he left off last week, in the end zone. Ravens open it up, score 7-0. Next drive was a bit more methodical for the Steelers. Here they are in Ravens territory. Smoot thrown over the middle, and it's caught by James Washington for 23 yards. So after the last drive ends in disaster, it looks like Pittsburgh is not letting that get to him. Quarterback still throwing, and throwing well. Next play, it's Najee Harris again. He takes it outside to the left this time, and the quickness he has to be able to get to the corner and beat the diving tackle to that spot is just impressive. And that great run sets him up with 1st and goal from the 4, where they would cap it off with a handoff to the left side for John Emery Jr. Pittsburgh is on the board, and this game is tied up at 7. Ravens' first drive now, and Lamar Jackson reminding everyone who he is. Throw on the run is on the money to Sammy Watkins, and that's good for 25 yards and a Baltimore first down. Ravens offense trying to prove that it's not only their defense that can put points up on the board. A couple plays later, J.K. Dobbins sends that message loud and clear. Bumping and fighting his way through an ocean of giants, he takes it 30 yards to the house, and Baltimore takes back the lead. Dobbins looking to take the max rushing title. He's neck and neck with Najee Harris and Tevin Coleman of the Seahawks for most rushing yards, and for touchdowns, he's tied for the league lead with Michael Carter of the Jets, with Coleman not too far behind. You bet every one of his scores is personal and important to him. Baltimore up 14-7. Speaking of Harris, here he is again with another big play, using his speed to get to the corner, and once he cuts upfield, he makes a nice move on Deshaun Elliott there, which gets him and his team an extra 13 yards or so, and another trip inside enemy territory. Give him 28 on that run, and every single one of them was well earned. A Bay Area kid putting on a clinic out there, and a guy like me loves to see it. Very next play, and they go back to the air. Smoot looking for a big chunk, and he gets it in the way of Eric Ebron, recognizing the soft spot in the coverage, and that ball is well placed. Tiptoes along the sideline for a few more, give him 25 yards on that one. They're in the red zone now, and they get a little unconventional with the ground game. Deontay Johnson, the receiver on this play, comes around the back and takes the handoff to the right side for 16 yards, just shy of the end zone. Mark him down at the 2, and the next play finishes the job. Najee Harris gets his first points of the day with a quick 2-yard blast up the middle, and we're tied again at 14. Steelers defense hadn't really done much up to this point, but that was about to change. Ensuing Baltimore drive, and that rush is stuffed behind the line by Stephon Tuitt. He gets to it all right, getting to the ball carrier just 1.85 seconds after the ball is snapped. Roughly, I counted it myself, but next play is even better if you're wearing a white t-shirt. TJ Watt works his way through the block on the edge and gets to Jackson 11 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Steelers force the Ravens to go 3 and out for our first punt of the game. Less than a minute later, they're on the Ravens 33, seemingly moving the ball at will, and Najee Harris keeps the train a-rolling. Awesome burst up the middle and a sick juke right at the end of that run. Steelers back in the red zone looking to take their first lead of the game. After losing 4 on first down, they're thrown out of the shotgun. Smoot rolls to his left, and I'm not sure what he saw here. Maybe the 2 Ravens defending that one were blending into the end zone, or whatever the case, they have it well covered. But Marcus Peters comes away with it, but he comes out of the end zone with it. So they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. Kind of a mental mistake there by the veteran corner. So the Ravens have their work cut out for them on this one. They've got to work it literally all the way downfield methodically and responsibly, or at least get enough breathing room between the ball and the goal line so they can stop worrying about a safety. Well, how's this for responsible and methodical? Lamar hits Hollywood Brown on the left side of the 4-yard line, and he put the team on his shoulders, taking it all the way to the house, and just like that, the Ravens have the lead once again. 22.6 miles per hour on that one. I didn't even think humans could possibly go that fast, but here we are. Ravens tack on the extra point, and it's 21-14. 2-minute offense for Pittsburgh now as they try to score before the half. If they want to do that, they got to do a lot less of this. Brandon Williams forcing his way through and getting to Smooth 10 yards behind the line for a huge loss, less than a minute to go. After an incomplete pass on second down, they go to the left side on third, where Smooth sees Deontay Johnson. They connect for 22 yards, and on 3rd and 20, that's just good enough for a first down. Pittsburgh takes their first timeout. 18 seconds left, Steelers on the 28-yard line with 2 timeouts left. Smooth knows if he needs to, he can run, and that's exactly what he does. Takes it out to the right side where it's a race to the sticks. Smooth comes up just short, but it's a gain of just about 10, and because he went out of bounds, the clock stops anyway at 11 seconds. 18-yard line now, and Smooth back to throw again, but this time he gets rid of it quickly, hitting his tight end Ebron, who stretches it across the goal line for 6. And the extra point was good, so we'd have a tie ball game going into the half. Well, no way. They can't score from here, can they? We've already seen a miracle touchdown strike. What are the odds we get 2 in 1/2? Well, believe it, because J.K. Dobbins will not be denied. He's unsatisfied with the tie at halftime. He wants the ball with the lead, and that is what he is going to get. A 75-yard run, and Baltimore is back on top, and this score would carry over into the second half. And to the second half we go. Baltimore with it on 3rd and 6 in their own territory. Jackson gets blasted as he throws, and to add insult to injury, Josiah Scott picks it off at the 48, which is where he goes down. There was no injury involved, though. I was just using a turn of phrase. Jackson was fine. He'd come out for the next drive. He did take a hard hit, though, so. Resulting Steelers drive was basically just a Najee Harris show. Takes this one to the left and uses that great speed to grab himself 15 yards. And then he takes this one out of the shotgun, basically untouched until he gets to the goal line for his second score of the day. Steelers set to tie this thing up for the 4th time today, but no, doink, right off the right upright, and Baltimore keeps the lead 28-27. Ravens punt again and back him up deep in their own territory. It's 1st and 10 on the 14, and Harris takes this one to the left side, outruns the pursuit again. He really did do it all day long for him. That one goes for 16 and a first. A few plays later, it's a play action. He lets it develop, and Smooth goes over the middle to Johnson for 29 yards. Steelers in the Ravens end now looking to take their first lead of the game with just about 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Later in the drive, first play of the 4th quarter, and it's 3rd and 6 from the 7 for Pittsburgh. They try to get it through the air, and Smooth hits Johnson, but he was just shy of the line to gain. 3rd and 6, they get a gain of 5.5, and they're not going to risk it here. They make the safe call and kick the field goal, putting them ahead for the first time by a score of 30-28. Well, Baltimore doesn't like that. A couple minutes later, they're just across midfield, 2nd and 4, and Jackson throws to the right where he has a wide-open J.K. Dobbins, who takes a big hit but makes the play for his team. He can do it on the ground or out of the backfield, that one for 13 yards. A little later, Jackson in the shotgun. He's going to throw again, and this one goes to the tight end Josh Oliver on the right side. He gets across the sticks for another first down, make that one a gain of 16. Same drive, 3:41 left to play now, and it's a 1st and goal for Baltimore. They try and run with Dobbins, and that one's sniffed out before it even really has a chance to develop. So on 2nd down, they go to the ground again. This time it's TJ Logan, but he gets the same result as Dobbins, down at the 5, and this promising Ravens drive is losing steam fast. They do not want to have to settle for a field goal here, so they know they need this one right now. Jackson takes the snap and he rolls out to the right side. He tries to pick up a block and make a bid for the pylon, but the Steelers say absolutely not. TJ Watt meets him at the 2, and settle for a field goal is exactly what Baltimore would be forced to do. 3 points is still 3 points, and when you're down by 2, sometimes 3 is okay. Ravens back ahead 31-30. So, Pittsburgh has it now, down by 1, and Smooth trying to orchestrate a comeback. He's going to have to get rid of it a little bit quicker than this on the next one. Tyus Bowser with the huge sack on 2nd and 9. It's a loss of 14, so make it 3rd and 23 for Pittsburgh coming up. They run a play action on 3rd down, and Smooth dropping way back, slings it to his wide receiver Deontay Johnson for a catch and run good for 29 yards and a fresh set of downs. Clutch play right there. It prevents the Steelers from having to risk it on fourth, which they would have had to do if Johnson couldn't find his way past the sticks. A little later, it's 2nd and inches, and they're already in field goal range, so they want to be careful with the ball, and that was not supposed to happen. Luckily for the Steelers, Smoot was there to pick it up, and they would retain possession, but man, that was a close call. So on 3rd down, it's 3rd and 1, they're going to give it to Najee again, and he takes it across for the first down to set up the game-winning field goal attempt. The Ravens did call both of their timeouts in an attempt to ice the Pittsburgh kicker. It seems to have worked. Will he be able to main focus and give his team the win here today? And also the division lead? Well, that's a big 10-4, good buddy. The kick is up and it is good, and the Steelers, having never led this game by more than 2 points, walk away victorious by a final score of 33-31. With the win today, the Steelers move up to 11-3, the same record as Baltimore, and since they beat the Ravens both times the two matched up in the regular season, they hold the tiebreaker in the event the two teams finish with the same record. Maintaining the lead might be an issue, however, as the Max Commissioners reviewed the footage of this game after the fact, and they determined that Pittsburgh was abusing certain concept in the passing game. As a result, they'll be without quarterback Chris Smoot for their Week 16 matchup against the Raiders. Here's a better look at the Max playoff picture as it currently sits. Pittsburgh's win in this one puts them at number 2, behind only the Jets at 1 and ahead of the Jaguars at 3, though all 3 teams have the same 11-3 record. Number 4 is where it starts to get interesting. Coming into Week 15, Denver had a 1-game lead over the Raiders in the AFC West, but Vegas beat the Chargers this week and Denver lost to the Browns, so both the Raiders and Broncos are now 10-4, and due to both teams beating each other once, the tiebreaker defaults to division record where the Raiders have the edge, so they currently hold the 4 seed and first place in the West. The Broncos drop down all the way to 6 behind 11-3 Baltimore. Also, with the win over Denver, the Browns leapfrog over the Bills and claim the last spot in the AFC for now with an 8-6 record. Cincinnati is also 8-6, and Buffalo sits at 7-6-1. Over in the NFC, no surprises if you've been paying attention. Tampa on top, still undefeated at 14-0. Seattle comfortable at 12-2 in the 2 spot. If they win one or Washington loses one of their next 2 games, they can finish no lower than 2, and they need Tampa to lose both to have any shot at stealing the 1 seed, so it's likely that the first 2 spots in the NFC are already settled. Washington's 10-4, Chicago is 9-6, so Washington needs to net 2 wins over Chicago to finish with the 3 seed, otherwise tiebreakers could make that race a little bit more interesting. But the football team has clinched the NFC East, so they'll finish no lower than 4, and they'll get a home game in the first round no matter what. The difference between 3 and 4 is huge though, because the 4 seed is destined to match up with the 11-3 Falcons. They're locked in at number 5, can't win the division because Tampa is 14-0, and can't drop the wild card too because the teams directly behind them are 7-7, meaning they can win 9 games at most. 4 teams currently hold that record in the NFC. Panthers, Giants, Rams, and Niners all vying for those last 2 spots, and I gotta say it's almost impossible to forecast looking at their upcoming schedules. They all seemingly need a win out, but the Rams and 49ers play each other Week 17, which makes that impossible from one of those 2 teams. Panthers have the toughest Week 16 matchup taking on Chicago, while the Niners have the opposite. They take on the Titans at 4-9-1. We'll have the results of those games and the updated standings on next week's video. And that's going to do it for us here today. I'm Ace510. For more Max coverage, including live game broadcasts, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Ace510. Also right here on YouTube so you don't miss out on any highlight action. Make sure and subscribe to the Triple Coverage podcast to stay up to date in the world of sports. And for players in the league, make sure to archive your streams for your chance to be featured in a video like this. Your final score this week, Pittsburgh 33, Baltimore 31, and I'll see you for the next one right here on Ace 510.